We're now joined by Congressman Mark Takai, a freshman on the House Armed Services Committee, serving in his first term from Hawaii. Congressman Takai, you've talked a lot about North Korea and the threat to Hawaii recently. What has prompted your interest in the subject?
Well, first let me say aloha to everyone watching back at home. But to answer your question, I am very concerned about recent actions that the North Korean regime has taken, as are many of our senior military leaders. General Brooks, for example, who is based in Hawaii, recently warned that we can't underestimate the hazards that are emerging when asked about the North Korean ballistic missile program. The North Korean regime has become a lot less stable and more predictable in their military actions.
But Congressman, is it not widely recognized that North Korea still has a way to go on the technology development to pose a threat to the United States and the mainland?
Well, as you know, even with the limited capabilities they have now, Hawaii is a lot closer to the action than anywhere else. And the commander of NORTHCOM, for example, recently pointed out that our state is one that could be threatened with the current technology that North Korea possesses. Let's look at what has happened, for example, this past year. North Korea conducted a Fort nuclear test, actually launched a satellite that shows they are developing ICBM capability, and just this past weekend launched a missile from a submarine. Sanctions have done nothing to stop them. They have shown the skill to develop advanced weapons without our knowing. For example, look at their cyber program. We were not proactive enough until they attacked Sony Pictures. I believe we can't wait until they develop a capability that can harm Hawaii to start upgrading our defenses. And we have to be proactive in what we are doing.
So one of the ways that you've suggested, at least in Hawaii, that you can do that to upgrade the defensive capabilities at the Pacific Missile Range facility. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah, that's a good question. Sure, that's a good question. At PMRF right now, we've been operating a testing site for the Aegis Ashore system. This site was used to actually provide the capability before it was deployed to Europe. I should mention that we are deploying it in Europe against the Russian capabilities that are far more advanced than that of North Korea. So it really is a proven capability that is already in place on Kauai. There are also the need to upgrade the radar system in place at PMRF, and we're able to work into the defense authorization provisions for this new radar system.
So, Congressman, aren't you concerned about chatter that this is over-militarizing the state, or that it will drastically increase the footprint of the military in Hawaii?
Well, this is strictly for defense capabilities. We want to defend Hawaii. And as I said earlier, the facility is already proven and in place in Kauai. Our amendment closes a predicted testing gap at the site, which will preserve jobs and enhance the site, and it will help our neighbor islands' economy as well. Eventually, we're going to need to upgrade the radar, and we have started to address that by bringing planning and design funds. But we're also looking at better utilizing some of the radar assets that are already in place. I cannot stress enough the issue of North Korean missiles and the threat of the missiles to Hawaii. This is one that we can't sit around and wait until they have the capability. We actually must have to act now. And we currently have the capability that can be taken care of, excuse me, that can be taken care of with limited investments or increase of the footprint.
But Congressman, people will still say, even with the capability still there, that you're putting weapons on the land.
Well, let's just look at other places. South Korea, Japan, and Guam are all protected from this threat. Guam actually, with the THAAD battery that was taken out of Hawaii, Hawaii does not have an organic capability to protect us. So let's play this out. North Korea launches a missile that targets Hawaii. We are currently only protected by ground-based interceptors in Alaska and on the West Coast. If those shots miss, it is too late right now to intercept. That's why we need this Hawaii-based defensive capability. And we already have the asset positioned here. From my perspective, it would be crazy not to use it.
Well, Congressman, thanks for your time. We certainly look forward to hearing more on the issue. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, and aloha.